Hello, welcome to Something with Dina.
And Diana.
Hello, Miss Diana.
Hi, everybody.
You're looking lovely today.
Oh, well, you look smashing as always.
We lost so good, don't we?
Oh, I do not lie.
I don't have any makeup on, so they have these little filters on Zoom and that I try to pick. And I like to put on the sunglasses one because I don't have eye makeup on, and I was desperately trying to find it before you answered my call. I had the little John Lennon sunglasses on the other day, but I couldn't find it. So here I am in all my glory.
Yeah, I love it.
People always say, Dina, do you feel okay when I don't have eye makeup on? I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just not wearing any eye makeup.
It makes a difference, doesn't it? It brightens your eyes, opens them up.
It really does because I'm fair. My eyelashes are very blonde and I have
Hmm.
light eyes. So it's just like, what's wrong with you, Dina?
Just put some makeup on, you be fine.
I was not blessed with the dark, thick lashes like so many men are. Wasted on the men, seems like.
Oh my goodness, I know, and they don't even like them.
I used to know a guy who trimmed his eyelashes and I wanted to smack him. I'm like, what?
Real hard.
Come here a minute. Whack. And speaking of that, eye makeup really improves the quality of my life. I will say that. I'm so glad it was invented. And I say that because that is the topic of our show today.
Oh, okay. Well, how perfect was all that?
Yeah, Diana does not know. If you're a new listener, welcome, by the way. There's other people here. Hello. Diana doesn't know what topic I'm going to bring to the table. So this is all off the cuff. She does a great job. It does put her in a weird position. And I asked her if she'd prefer to know the topics. And she said, no, I kind of like a challenge.
Yeah, I'm up for a challenge always. We got to keep ourselves moving and going forward.
Yeah, I admire that. I really do. So, this is our topic. What improved the quality of your life so much you wish you had done it sooner? And these are very specific things, not just general, like, well, I decided to have a positive outlook on life, that kind of thing. These are
Hmm.
very specific things, and some of them are kind of funny, but this is from the page called My Positive Outlooks on Facebook. And I came across the post and that was the question they posed. What improved the quality of your life so much you wish you had done it sooner? And I thought, ooh, good topic. I'm going to read these and see what they are. And I'm going to save the top three for the end.
Okay.
All right, so let's just start with some of the ones there was more than one person that said these things, or I didn't even mention. There were so many on the list, but these were ones that were more than one person did. First one, getting LASIK eye surgery.
I have not had that done, so I have a hard time giving an opinion on that.
Yeah, is it something that you need? Do you wear corrective lenses for distance
Mm,
or?
just readers. My eyesight's still okay.
Well, that's great. I had terrible eyesight starting like at 12 or 13, and my last name started with a T, so I was in the back of the room in the alphabetized rooms. If it wasn't an
Right?
alphabetized room, I would run in and sit at the very front because I thought, I can't see. It's a very scary feeling.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, especially as a kid.
Yeah. I felt like I was doing something wrong and I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my parents. And I realized it when we were in alphabetical order and I was seated at the back and people would laugh at me because it'd be my turn to like read something off the board. We take turns reading. Um, I'd be squinting. So if my teacher finally sent me home with a note, my mom's like, Dina, can you not see? No, I can see fine. I don't know what the deal was.
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't want to be different. But yes, glasses made a big difference. But I told that long story to say my eye doctor, the last time I went, said, you need to go get LASIK eye surgery. Your life will be so much easier because I wear one contact for distance and one for reading so that I can kind of just, my brain will switch back and forth. And he said,
Right.
why are you not getting LASIK? Well, I've heard nightmare stories about LASIK.
Mhm. Well, things can happen, but go to someone reputable. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I've heard people say that their eyes get really dry. And
Mhm.
I mean,
I
some
can see
people even
that.
like end their lives over it, which,
Really?
yes. So I don't
Oh,
know. I'm sure there's people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I wasn't aware of that. That's pretty dramatic.
Yeah. When he recommended it, I did some research. And like you say, you're a medical professional. Anything can go wrong.
Hmm.
But there were so many. No, I'm not going to say there were so many. I'm going to say there were several nightmare stories where the person said, I just wish I could go back and not have done that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
But he also said I had a little cataract I might want to take care of, which is a horrible thing to admit.
Yes.
Like, who
Take
are you
care of
talking
that.
to? Yeah. But according to this, several people said getting LASIK surgery changed my life, and I wish I had done it sooner.
Good.
I'm sure there are people out there listening who are like, yes, amen, yes to that, or no, no, don't do it. So, it's just an individual choice, I guess. I'm not encouraging anybody to do it or not do it with what I said.
Right.
Okay. Letting go of money goals, like I need to have this and this, I need to make this much money, and I'm going to do what I have to do. Work a miserable job if I have to, work overtime if I have to, whatever I have to do to reach this money goal. What do you think about that?
I think that's aspiring. Depends on if your goal is realistic. You can't work yourself to death. There's a certain amount of play in life that needs to go along with work. But when I began to get my financial status situation a little more under control, I wished I had done that earlier. Yes, I
Oh, really?
wouldn't have. Yeah, there was a time where I was really bad because I like to go shopping a lot. So when you shop, you usually spend.
Right.
And, you just kind of gotta, it's fun for a while, and then the bill comes.
Yeah, you actually have to pay it.
I know, right?
What's
So,
that?
yeah, if I could encourage anybody to do anything, one of my big top three would be to check out your financial status, what your goals are, where you need to be, and then have a realistic plan. A 1 year plan, a 3 year plan, a 5 year plan to meet your goals.
Hmm. And in some cases on this list, them letting go of it was I don't have to have a bigger house. I don't have to have a beach house. I don't have to go on vacation every year. I'm going to let go of all those big dreams I had and live my little happy life, which
Right?
I think
Nothing
there's,
wrong with that.
yeah, I think there's something to say with that. We put so much pressure on ourselves to compete with our friends. And I have a
Mm.
tendency to hang out with people, including you, who are out of my tax bracket. So it's,
What?
but I don't feel the pressure to keep, I just let it be known. At a dinner, I let it be known I can't get this or this or this. This is,
Right.
and I had to swallow my pride a little bit. And then now it's great because people know that's who I am. That's my lifestyle. And I'm not going to struggle to try to keep up with others.
And you're happy.
Yeah. So find yourself some accepting friends if you do feel that pressure to keep up with the Joneses, as they say.
You know what? Nobody even knows who the Joneses are. So why are we trying to keep up with them?
They're obviously very rich. I've never met them, but
Oh, okay. Well, my bad.
all right. The next thing people did that really improved their quality of their lives was volunteering in animal shelters and food banks.
I love that one. And yes, I have done both. I actually love to get uh an animal place that needs blankets or, just dog food or cat food or anything that old towels, that they can use. They are so appreciative of just anything that you give them.
Yeah, if you don't have that much time to spend, or maybe you even have allergies to animals, or you're disabled and you can't like go out and walk the pets for them and things like that, those lists, it would surprise you what they could use. Like you say, I saw a list and they can provide you one of things they needed that I'm throw away every day, like little
Exactly.
flat boxes and things. Yeah, and I think we have talked about in a past episode, I don't remember the topic, but one of the solutions, it might have been when you feel depressed, uh, volunteer, give
Yeah,
back.
give back because you get joy out of that, and we all deserve joy.
And you may just feel like it would make you tireder or, well, I mean, giving something to somebody else, is that going to improve my horrible situation? It's magical, really.
It's very energizing, I think.
Yeah. All right. Gave up people pleasing and started to say no to things.
I would have to put that one at the first of my list. I did that a long time ago. And I can't tell you how much better the quality of my life was after I made that decision.
So do you just say no, period? Some people say, Tia didn't like this expression, but I use it a lot. No is a full sentence sometimes.
Well, there are times where people don't need an explanation for your no. You are a very giving person, and I can't imagine you saying the word no to something that you felt compelled to contribute, help, volunteer, whatever you want to call it. So there are times where when you make a decision, it's personal, and I think it's okay to keep to yourself.
hmm And even something as simple as like somebody will invite me to, let's go grab lunch or let's go grab dinner. And it's just not in the cards for me at that moment. Rather than me say, no, I can't because this, and this. And I was planning on doing this. And then I'll just say, no, thank you. It's not good for me today. And
Right.
people have learned to accept that it drives me crazy because they're like, well, you can do that tomorrow. You can put that off or I'll help you with it. I'm just like, no.
No, no is no.
Yeah. And I think my close friends know I don't mean anything rude by that. It's just, no,
Yeah.
thank you. I do say thank you. No, thank you. Thanks for thinking of me. All right, this next one I know you're into, and I dabble. I do it lightly. I'd love to do it every day, but I can't do what you do. Yoga.
Mm. Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely a good one on that. And I do wish I had done that earlier. I did a lot of obviously kickboxing, working out every day kind of thing throughout my life. But yoga was such a new challenge. And yeah, I would have to put that one at the top of my list too.
Yeah. Your yoga is probably a lot more extensive than mine. I think the thing about yoga is probably was hard for you is you slow down. It can be very strenuous. People look at somebody doing it and think, all they're doing is stretching. I can do that. Oh yeah, why don't you try it? Try it.
Oh, yeah. The first time I took my husband to a yoga class, he recognized that the reason I had come home, and I did it 3 days in a row, I did like a week trial. So I wanted to do as many classes as I could. And on that third day, I could not hardly brush my teeth. Uh, Everything on me hurts, even my eyelashes. But he was like, "Isn't yoga like kumbaya, stretching, da da da?" I was like, why don't you just come go with me and we'll go? Actually, that's not how it happened. He thought we were going to work out, and I drove past the gym and drove straight to the yoga place. But I have to add, it's a real hot yoga.
Mm,
So the temperatures can be, 101 degrees in there. So nothing on you is dry. Your hair's dripping wet, but you feel so exhilarated afterwards. So I encourage anybody to do yoga.
yeah. Yoga's a big topic, but I would just say that you are probably more of the extreme where you're probably doing those poses that are basically slow motion acrobatics, some of those crow
Yes.
poses and headstands and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
I do yoga light, and when I do, because I feel self-conscious going somewhere to do yoga, I've done it a couple of times because I can't keep up, is I
Yeah.
do yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. She's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I
she's
like
great.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's very gentle, very slow, but you feel it, and it improves just my aches and pains and stiffness go away the minute I do it. It's amazing. And my day is better. I feel more energized. I like to
Mhm.
start my day with it, or then I'll end with it, if it's like a relaxation technique. But you don't have to do the And some people feel if they're Christians, they feel like it's a religion, like, it's against. I know I had some friends who were like, Tina, yoga is like a religious practice. And I said, it's not when I don't, it depends on what your intentions are. Like, will you do the
Right.
up to your eye with your prayer? And I said, well, if you think about, if you ever do it, those are things to get your spine straight. There's kind of method to the madness, like
Right.
clasp your hands together in prayer. You're actually straightening out your spine,
Right.
centering yourself. So if you're not praying to whatever God you think yoga is, then you're not going against Christianity. I just want to say that because I do have friends who won't do it because of that. It's not this mystical. It can be a mystical thing, but for me, it's the actual stretching, getting limber, is strengthening. It really strengthens you too to hold your body up in like even just a downward dog. So dabble in it and see how you feel.
Yeah, just try it.
You don't have to
I
say
would.
namaste. Yeah, she always ends with the namaste, and I always say, I love you, God, at the end instead of namaste, but just in case.
Right. Right.
All right, on the same topic, but even maybe more accessible with as much results, is just stretching. And, and yoga will help you stretch in the right way, ease you into it so you don't hurt or pull something. That's why I would say do your stretching through yoga. And then once you learn those stretches, just stretch on your own. But stretching, my goodness,
It's a game changer.
it is. I mean, just think about you hunched over people all day, very concentrated. I'm not saying you're a hunchback or anything. I'm just saying your shoulders
Right.
and neck and back have got to, without stretching, you just be locked
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Agreed. A big old knotted mess.
And most people sit in their jobs, and you don't realize sitting is so detrimental. It really is.
Oh, yes. Especially for hours on end without getting up and moving around.
Mhm.
You know, your blood flow to your legs and your feet. You need to get that blood circulating again.
Yeah. Check out some stretching videos on YouTube, and because you really can do it wrong. You really can hurt something and pull something. I don't want to be responsible for that. If you do it,
Mm-hmm.
it's Diana's fault.
Yep. All my fault.
No, I'm kidding. All right, this is a crazy one. It's very specific, but it made me think about this person said, several people said, I bought that horse I've always wanted. Whew.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you probably don't even know, Dina, but I rescued a horse and yeah. Oh, he was 17 hands high. He was a Belgium draft and he was fine. I don't know what the problem was, but they were going to put him down and so I went and got all the things that you need for a horse. Of course, I lived out on a farm. We had a 23-acre farm
Mhm.
out there. So we put in a fenced area for him, and I had him for about 3 years. I called him Dozer because he was so big.
Wow.
So yeah, I've rescued a horse. And
That's,
it was very life-changing. Again, you've got different needs for animals, a cat, a dog, and then a horse really requires, I feel like, much more, centered attention and a lot of really expensive items.
yes, absolutely. I feel like there are horse people, and I didn't realize you were a horse people. Do you ride horses?
I used to, yes. I haven't in a few years.
That's great. There are horse people. That's a very specific thing. And now, when, of course, I was a little girl, I wanted a pony, and my parents never got me one, thank the Lord. But I couldn't understand what's the big deal? Why can't I have a pony? But
Now you know.
yeah. So I think people who were horse people when they were younger, who finally they're retired, they have some money put aside and they know what it entails. Finally getting their own horse changed their life in this case, in this post I was reading.
That's awesome.
So get your horsey, but know that it's a lifetime, at our age, at the age where you retire, that horse is going to be around a while.
Well, again, I kept him for 3 years, and just so happened, out of nowhere, a door opened, and there was a 12-year-old little boy that needed a horse. All of his family had horses, and they were going on a trip, and they were looking for him a horse that he could kind of grow into and grow up with. And so I gave him Dozer, and
Wow.
he has a great family, a great home. I love it.
It's awesome. Well, I was afraid to ask you what happened to Dozer because I was afraid it might have been some tragic story, and I didn't want to put.
Oh no, ended well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, this is a big one, and you did it. Switch careers even after many years in the same career.
Yeah, and that's very scary, but it was necessary for me. Health issues, and I loved injecting and working on people's faces. So, yeah, I'm happy that I did that. It took a lot. It was a step of faith, and trust me, lots of hours of what ifs.
Mhm.
And at some point, you just have to embrace the opportunity and again, give it your all. And usually things work out.
Yeah. I would say to people to, like you say, kind of weigh the pros and cons. Imagine your life in that new career the best you can and understand the risks that you could take, have money put back, in case it doesn't work out. And then
Right.
for you and I, prayer would be the number one thing. But those who are not believers, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's time to start believing, but except
Right.
maybe in
Don't.
the state.
I- That's funny.
Yeah. Yawn, yawn. No, God's waiting to hear from you. So,
That's right.
all right. I stopped arguing back.
Well, I'm still working on that one, Dina. And I don't argue, but I get my point across. I'm not someone to scream and holler. My previous life before Dan involved with my spouses a lot of yelling and stress. And so I just learned to get my point across and not get emotionally involved in whatever it is.
It all depends on what the topic is of what you're arguing about. But if it's someone who's not like you don't live with this person and they're arguing back about something and you know you're going nowhere, it's hard to argue alone. So if you don't respond back, or if you say, maybe you're right, you could be right. I do that a lot. Could be. Well, that's interesting. Then they just
Um,
have to be quiet. You can't try to
well,
convince people to believe what you believe always.
it's nice when you learn to diffuse the situation.
Yeah. I mean, how much do you care about that person's opinion anyway? And a lot of that is online stuff. If somebody says, well, how could you say that? This, and this, and this, and just ignore it. Just don't.
Oh, yeah. That's a waste of time, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that comes with maturity too. So sometimes it's best not to argue back, according to these people. All right. I downsized my belongings.
I'm working on that, as you know, taking everything in inventory of what I've got, what I need. So I have a trash pile, I have a giveaway pile, I have a Salvation Army pile, and then I keep the last pile.
Yeah. When you're young and you start to accumulate things, you're kind of proud of yourself. I bought that. This is my stuff. This is my apartment, whatever. This is the couch I bought after I worked hard. I bought this and this and this. People give you things like, oh, yeah, I could use that. I might could use that. And you start to surround yourself with stuff that makes you feel, first of all, like a grown up and makes you feel, I think, secure, depending on your personality type. It's your stuff.
Yeah.
And then decades pass and you think, this stuff is going to be here when I'm gone. Who is going to have to take all this stuff and deal with it? It's kind of where I am right now.
Well, and you and I don't have children. So
Right.
that's a very valid question for people in our situations.
Mhm. Somebody's going to have to deal with it. Stuff is so fun.
Well, I have to admit, I have shopped enough in my life that as I have begun to, and this is not a 1 day process.
Right.
If you truly downsize, you're talking everything from your pantry, how many glasses do you really need in your cabinet?
Exactly.
I mean, and first of all, I've got 2 feet, so I do not need 500 pairs of shoes. For heaven's sakes, it's overwhelming. And then you almost feel like you go shopping just because you went upstairs and went in your closet you hadn't been in for a while.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about these. Yeah. Yeah. We did a whole episode a long time ago about hoarding. And if you can take it in baby steps, like you say, just think, I'm going to go through this kitchen cabinet. What is this back here? I don't even remember buying this. I don't even know what you do with it. Matter of fact, I found something in my cabinet. I thought, I'm going to have to image Google to find out what is this for.
Oh gosh, you're hysterical.
As you said, it takes a long time to clear it out because it took a long time to get it all there.
That's right. I'm going on a year.
Wow.
I made a commitment. Yep. And I'm still pushing forward.
That's
And
great.
you don't have time to do it every day. Of
Oh,
course, you have your work schedule and all that. But I do try to, as you said, open something up and then just go through it while you're. making dinner or whatever.
Yeah, if you're watching television, pull out a drawer, your junk, everybody has that junk drawer, and sit on your couch with it and
Yes.
go through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell everyone else, do it.
All right, Dina, I'm telling you, do it.
Okay. All right. Removed my breast implants. Interesting. A lot of people have, I've noticed have been doing that. You know, Kim Kardashian made everybody get butt and boob implants, and now she's gotten her
Take
small.
them out. That's an oxymoron. Well, I was having trouble with my breast, so I really didn't have a choice.
Had to have her removed. Did you I mean, did you feel, did you miss them? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, we replaced them.
Replace them. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I
they
think
were
people can mourn
replaced.
that when they take them out, but these people were very pleased and wish they had done it sooner. So,
A lot of that, I feel like sometimes people go overboard and get their breasts too large, and as they age, that is a pull, it's a weight, and so it does, affect your back and your shoulders and your neck. So a lot of people that have carried around heavy weights on their chest, of course, they're delighted to have a little freedom and not feel that tug and pull.
right. Right. And some people do suffer illness they feel that comes from that. I don't know if it truly does come from, leakage or just having a foreign object in your body, but I don't know if that's legitimate or not. Losing weight, obviously, that's a touchy subject with some people, but if you use a chart, a medical chart, or your doctor tells you that you're going to feel a lot better if you lose a little bit of weight, then obviously it's going to improve the way your knees feel, your hips feel, your heart, everything. I will boldly say,
And
lose weight if you need to.
And it changes your perspective on you when you begin to lose some weight and you're excited. First 2, 3 pounds, you can, maybe start to look into that closet of clothes you've not worn for a long time. And you can fit in a few of those things that you love that you tucked behind, the back of the back of the dresser.
Yeah. It's a slippery slope. People can certainly have illnesses, eating disorders
Oh,
from that. But
absolutely.
I feel like if you're eating healthily, you're eating what your body needs, then you'll be the weight you're meant to be. And that looks different on different people, is the way I always look at it.
Yeah.
All right, went back to school to get a degree.
Mm, I went straight out of high school, straight into college.
Yeah.
So, my path, I already knew exactly what I wanted to do. So,
Yeah, if you hadn't finished, if something in your life had happened, you hadn't finished, I would definitely see you going back and finishing, regardless of age or circumstance. I mean, it's kind of like it's something left unfinished. And obviously, there's an expense involved and time involved.
right.
I don't think people should ever feel it's too late. I don't have a degree. I've thought about it. I've thought about getting an art degree and kind of looking into what it would take. But there is, like I say, a lot of money involved,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
If as you get older, if younger people, that pretty much pays for itself. But as we age, like me right now, I would it be really wise to go back 2 to 4 more years of school?
Yeah.
Not where I'm at, not where I'm at in life.
Yeah. My sister did it because there was an opportunity for her to be promoted. And it was
Mm,
just like maybe 10 years ago, she got her degree. And it was very stressful because she was working full time and doing it, strictly online, Liberty
mhm,
University.
mhm.
She did great. I think she graduated summa cum laude or something amazing.
Oh,
Uh,
that's cool.
and she did get that promotion. But I think some people do it sometimes just for themselves to finish something and to feel like they accomplished something, even though they may never use it. I think that if it makes you feel good, do it.
Some people just like to continue more of a formal education.
Right.
They're not necessarily, like you said, on a path to be a neurobrain surgeon, but they want to continue to learn in different areas. And are they going to really apply that in their life? Even if they don't, I still think education is key.
Yeah, isn't that a better way of using your time than watching television or
Absolutely.
Laying in bed to keep your brain alive and stimulated. I would say if you can afford it, go for that, definitely. Because this is funny. I'm going to go through a lot of these because we're running out of time. Just funny ones, I think, or quick ones, and then we'll do the top three. Buying name brand toilet paper, investing in your toilet paper.
As long as it's soft and it does its job, I'm good.
When COVID was around, there was no toilet paper, and I was out on toilet paper searches for my mom and dad, and I would see like this glowing haloed pack of toilet paper on an empty shelf, and I'd run and grab it. So we had so much different types and brands, and I dug one out the other day. I said, "Mom, let's get into this COVID toilet paper," and it was one ply, and she was like, "Dana, I can't use this toilet paper."
That's
Oh,
cute.
dear. So yeah, I think investing in toilet paper is a good idea. Switch to Secret Santa instead of gifts for everyone. Amen.
Absolutely. Check me in on that one.
Yeah. It's fun to buy gifts for people. And when I had money, I loved it. And when other people would say, let's just each buy one gift, I'd be like, no, I want to buy you stuff. But it's gotten kind of out of hand in our family. It's kind of kooky.
Yeah.
Takes all day to open our Christmas presents. Uh,
Mhm.
Various hobbies like took up pottery, took up tennis, took up painting, knee replacements and hip replacements. That's another scary one, but I have talked to people who've said, "Oh, my life is so great now," and other people have said, "I wish I hadn't done this." So,
Right.
laser hair removal.
Mm.
Save 20 minutes a day shaving myself.
Well, you have long, pretty legs.
I have three hairs on my leg. This is what the person said. It saved them 20 minutes. I do not have, I didn't have laser hair removal. What about you? Mm-mm.
Uh, yes, I have had it through the
Have
years.
you?
hmm
Would you recommend it?
Yeah,
Hiring a cleaning service once a month for deep cleaning.
I just like to do my own house. It
Um,
gives me joy to clean my home. And
well,
is it as
that's
clean as it should be? No way. But I just take joy in that.
okay. Well, that's good. I guess some people, if they're totally stressed out, they feel guilty not cleaning their own house. But if you can afford to do it once a month, that deep cleaning, then you can just do the keep up. Go for it. You're worth it. Advance to a king size bed. I've always slept in a small bed, they said. Uh, Drop my drama loving friends. I got hearing aids. This is a funny one. I added crock pot liners to my crock pot.
Good tip.
Yeah, those are amazing inventions. I have a package of them in mine. I never use it. And I'm like scraping the crock pot thinking, why didn't I use the stupid plastic liner? All right, so the top three. Oh, this is actually top five. Number five, retired or changed the jobs or hours that I work. I'm gonna go through them real quickly, then let you comment on them, and then because we're running out of time. That was number five. Changed my jobs or said I'm just retiring. I'm done. Got a divorce, sadly. That was number four. Accepted Jesus Christ or God. That was number three. I wish it was higher, but it was listed enough to be number three. Number
Like,
two, stopped smoking, and number one, stopped drinking. Thoughts?
well, um. I am on the cuff here, and I know it's time. Uh, I don't smoke. I do like a glass or two of wine at night with dinner. And yes, I've had a divorce, and yes, it should have came earlier. And the other two that we talked about, I've been a Christian since I was 5 or 6 years old, and I think I covered them all.
Yeah, it was retired or changed jobs, which we really discussed that. I think if
Yeah.
you can afford to cut back on your hours, do it. If you can afford to retire, do it and enjoy your free time. You can always go back and work part-time if you've retired. Again, these are just suggestions. I'm not telling you to do it. Dina told me to quit my job. It didn't work
And people are like, "Who's Dana?"
out. Jesus, I mean, I probably wouldn't be alive now if it wasn't for Jesus or God, or certainly wouldn't be happy. I've never
Amen.
smoked, thank goodness, because I probably would have a hard time quitting. That's tough. Drinking, I'm like you, occasional glass of wine. Obviously, people know if they can't handle it,
Sure.
and and it affects everyone around you if you have trouble drinking. So I would just say to wrap it up on my end, I think for me, the message of this show is that although some of these things on this list were big things that could be life changing, little things can improve your life too, just like the investing in your bottom, invest in your toilet paper.
Yeah.
Do you have any better thoughts than mine
On the toilet paper?
on the show in general? What would you say were, and this is putting you on the spot, what were your top three things you did that improved the quality of your life, or you may be in the process of?
Again, downsizing and going through everything to get organized. Um, Obviously, the best thing in my life is Jesus Christ, and right after him is Dan Mitchell. So those
Yeah.
are probably, three things that I've been able to focus on. And yeah, I think that what you're talking about here is really just taking ownership of your life. And, you know, like you said, even one thing, but if you can make a list of three things and then just start with the one and get committed to it, and not only look at things that you can change within yourself, but changes in your environment. If
Hmm.
you have the ability, again, a dirty house, when you get your house clean and smelling good and it's fresh, it just makes you feel more alive in it. And also then, like we've discussed, figuring out who it is that you want to spend your time with. We are just identifying what it is that we truly want in our life. And that is a process. Start slow, but just my own personal opinion and experience is that my consistent actions really helped build my momentum. I started seeing the results of what I was doing. It's kind of like with weight loss. When you see a pound or two go, you begin to get a little bit more, bought into this diet thing, and maybe you can actually lose some weight. And so you get your momentum and you also get your confidence. And, I would say eliminate all blame, eliminate all um, a lot of times we carry around guilt and we keep a lot of things that we may not need to. And perhaps those are some personal items. And going through pictures and cards from people who have passed on, that process takes a little bit longer. But again, you commit to it, and I promise you, it will decluttering your life will make you feel so much better. And we all have to stop making excuses. And there's no external force that's going to just come and magically change things for us. In my opinion, you've got to be the one to do it, but then you're also the one benefiting from it. So I would just tell everybody, stay focused, stay positive, take accountability for yourself to stay on track, because baby, you're worth it. We'll see you next time on Sunday for Giggles and Gratitude. Have a fabulous week. Bye bye.
Bye.